Hello, it's Ian from Scotsman in a Van, and welcome to a beautiful sunny autumnal day in southwestern Colorado. And today things are a bit different. We're not going anywhere. I am just going to give you a tour of my van, so if that interests you, stick around. So come on, jump in, let's not see what's out there. So behold the majesty of the 2002 Volkswagen Eurovan Weekender. The Eurovan was known as the T4 in Europe, and it followed on from the 1980s square-shaped Volkswagen Vanagon. And it was sold in the United States between 1993 and 2003, and that's when Volkswagen left the market, and they haven't had a camper van since then. So one of these is actually kind of the newest Volkswagen vans you can get in the States. But coming soon, in maybe 2024, will be the VW ID Buzz, and I would like one of those, but I'm too poor. Maybe if I sold all my cars and a kidney, then maybe I could get one. I don't profess to be the expert in these vans, so if I get something wrong, please tell me in the comments. Okay, let me show you around. So by day, it's a normal 7-seater minivan, but the beauty of this is that if you need it to, it can convert into a camper van and sleep 4 people. Here we have a little table which folds out from the side. Underneath one of the rear-facing passenger seats is a little surprise. It's a little cooler, or as I like to call it, a minibar. And it has sliding opening rear windows with a bug screen to keep the mosquitoes out. So the van has curtains in all the rear windows if you need a bit of privacy, or if you just want to sleep in. And you can definitely tell this van is from a different era when you see the slightly over-engineered cup holders and the fact that there's an ashtray in the rear, when the days when people used to smoke in cars. Up here we have an interior light. In fact, there's 2 back here. And we also have the rear controls for climate for the passengers back here. Usually when I'm camping, I take this seat out and leave it at home just to give myself a bit more space back here. But of course I leave the minibar seat in, that is essential. Let's take a look upstairs. Now this is a little lever on the roof which you push to open the pop top. So this is the upstairs part, and it is, as you can see, a double bed. And this is where I usually sleep if I'm by myself, because it saves the trouble of folding down the rear seat to make that into a bed. And at the side we have these little windows with fly screens for letting more light in when you need it, or just to get some fresh air. I am now going to show you how to fold down the rear seat, and it turns into a surprisingly comfortable bed for 2 people. Okay, so first you have to remove the headrests. And there we have it, a nice roomy and spacious place to spend the night. So the Weekender version doesn't come with a sink or a stove, but I didn't need those, and I think I prefer to have the wider bed. I guess it's all down to preference. Down here we have a couple of cup holders, which is kind of surprising in a van this old, but man, they are quite a stretch when you're driving. I had this radio put in because it has a screen, and that's really useful for me because I can plug my phone in and use the navigation. And kind of a weird thing for me is that you don't get a glove compartment in the Volkswagen Eurovan. The American version's got a passenger airbag, which I think is what kind of inhibited them fitting the glove compartment. Here we are at the driver's side door, and because we don't get a glove compartment, Volkswagen have instead given us this little cubby, which you can also lock. I guess for the time it was pretty well equipped with heated seats and air conditioning and cruise control, all the things we kind of take for granted nowadays. One of the oddly charming things about this van is that on the driver's side the mirror is landscape, and yet on the passenger side it's portrait. And this is what the engine looks like, not too much to see, and like I said, it is a 2.8 litre VR6 engine, so with 6 cylinders, and you know, I think it has maybe 200 horsepower, so it's pretty useful, and you know, compared to most vans, it goes when you step on the gas. Let me demonstrate the canopy, and this is an absolute boon when I'm camping in the desert because it gives me shade. So here's a view of the trunk, and it has a kind of shelf dividing the two areas, and this shelf becomes the rear part of the bed when you fold the seats down. So I keep all my bedding and stuff I need in a hurry just on that shelf. And below I keep the things like my utensils, my power charger, my solar shower, etc., my shovel. You know, I've never figured out what these are for. If anyone knows, let me know. You can also see these studs here. That's because I have a screen that attaches to there so I can sleep at night with the hatch open, and it stops the bugs getting in. Well, thanks for joining me on this little tour of my van, and I hope you'll come with me in the near future when Scotsman in a Van hits the open road. Until then,